Isn't technology a pain in the ass? Drives me
Yeah,
crazy.
I think we're live now.
It
Hold on.
says now we're live on Facebook.
It
Yep.
does?
Hmm.
Okay. It'll pop up and I'll see us side by side. And then let's see, redirecting to Facebook. And it should show that we're live
It
now.
says to me
Hopefully.
on mine, it says we are live. We're streaming. Do you see it?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going, clicking on, you know how your computer, like, yeah, it says we're live. Okay, cool. So now I can go back and just watch you and I. All right, perfect. We're live. Hi, Facebook. So I'm with V, and V, why is your name V?
Well, the greatest thing about life is you can really be whatever you want. And I go by V because I don't think I'm a noun. I think I'm a verb. So V is short for verb.
Action, right? I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Okay, so V and this was V's idea, which I love you, V. Thank you very much, because I don't always think of these things. As you can see, I'm in my home like you are. So
Yeah, and you can see I'm a minimalist. There's
pretty
nothing on the
tree.
walls.
Oh, talk about minimalist. Look at this. Got my hoodie on today. And I went and treated myself today to a movie.
I treated myself. I took myself out to breakfast today. Listen, look at
I
us.
just felt like when I woke up, I wasn't like rushed today and I didn't have like this agenda that was chock full. And I decided that I've been wanting to go see Frozen 2 for a long time. So I just decided to go see Frozen.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So think about it. How you and took yourself to breakfast. I treated myself to a movie, just me. I'm not going to say I didn't miss my husband because I did, but just me by myself. And it was like, I walked out of there just feeling really good. It was a cute movie. It was really uplifting. That movie is, again, about reinventing yourself. It's about right when you think you're on one path, you're going to go on to another path, and that's okay because we're still learning, we're still growing. And it was like the perfect movie for me to see today because it was like, I think we need to show this movie at the sanctuary, but I don't want to watch a movie. So maybe I'll just like play a couple of the songs because they really hit you deep about how you have to follow your inner voice, right? Which is all about
Yes.
our intuition and digging deep. And it's what we talk about in Lead Up for Women all the time, right? V, it's about
Yep.
tapping into your power. Like you already have the cape, you already have the power. So are you going to let the flame burn out and let it go to waste? Or are you going to tap into it? I recently went to an energy healer. Have you been to an energy healer before?
I love all that stuff. Yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I think I need to make sure this is working because it says my speakers aren't working.
I can hear you. It says we're live and you're recording on my end.
That's so weird.
Huh. Maybe I'll look on my phone and see what it says.
I don't know. It's working now. I don't know what was happening. Anyway, but so I went to an energy healer, and she said to me, usually when I'm working on somebody's heart chakra, like I think it was heart chakra, she's like, I have to get in there and there's like usually a little flicker, like a little pilot light that's
right.
lit.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. And she was like, yours was like a raging forest fire.
Oh,
right. So
wow.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That means I've lit my power. And she's like, but I feel like it's raging. Like it's almost like it's not like we need to get it under control.
It's not contained.
So I'm sending that message out to everybody on Facebook right now. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want them to hear that just because we tap into our power and we're like, oh my gosh, this is my purpose, I'm living in it. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming and too big, right? And so we're doing 80 million things. And I believe what happens when we try and do that and we're trying to push and pull with the universe, that we're controlling everything instead of just allowing things to happen.
It's really funny that you should say that, because I've been working on a project for a year, like one of the hardest projects I've ever done. And, there's a company that, we've hired to do the back end of this, and they're experts in their field. And, we ran up against a glitch, and, I had a call with them, and I'm like, yes, but I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And he heard this and he was like, we need you to do less.
Yeah, I was looking to see if anybody was popping on and just.
He said, we need you to do less, like,
yeah,
and take a step back, because you're overdoing. And the reality is that it was such a freeing thing to have someone say, slow your roll, but you can over flame.
Yeah.
And I was interviewed today, and it was a pretty long interview. It was like an hour and a half interview. And at the end of it, the woman said, so what's the one piece of advice you wish you knew when you were younger? That standard question people ask you. And I was like, it's in you. Everything you need is in you. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not outside of us, it's in us. But I have to tell you, Colleen, I hear that and I understand that and I know that. But I also know that I am able to process and tap those things. But first, I always find inspiration and the ability to sort of look internally after I've spent time in community. Like, community fuels my soul to be able to inspire me. Like, just the other day, 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a gentleman on the phone who I don't even know at all, but I knew of him and he knew of me because of the work that we do. And he said to me, you need to own your power. And I said, I do own my power. He said, well, not really. And then he gave me an example, and he was absolutely right. And the example had to do with community. And when I heard him speaking about that, I thought, community, I always say, is my drug of choice. I'm a community psychologist. It's what I studied in grad school. I live for community. But truly, at the end of the day, you have to be vulnerable in community. You just can't be in the room as a member of community, right?
Yeah.
And there's not many rooms or spaces that I've been able to walk into that I have felt that I could be vulnerable. And when this gentleman told me I wasn't owning my power, it's because I was not vulnerable in this community. I hadn't really been honest because I didn't feel like I could. So it's not only finding community, you have to find a community where you get to be and be uplifted. And that's why I asked you to do this Facebook Live, because when I'm evaluating my 2019 and my 2020 goals, I have to tell you that it's not just community. It's a community where I truly feel safe. I feel protected and I feel able to be uplifted. And I've been in the lead up for women community for almost a whole year. And when you did your LA luncheon, it was going to be a big commitment for me to get there. But I knew I had to go, and I was part of the panel and I was excited to go. But I also was kind of depressed at that time. So I was psychologically not thinking I had what it took to get there, but I went anyway. And I walked into that room and I think I talked to those women every day on social media or on email or in some way. These were all strangers. I didn't know one single soul, and all of my troubles went away. I felt completely uplifted. We all shared, we all loved, and that's why I wanted to do this, because I know you're doing Sanctuary and I know you're doing all these things, and you have the magazine, you have the new website, you have the radio show, all of this stuff. I just really wanted to encourage women to not only consider joining us in all those other things, but really joining us, because this year instead of 30 women at a luncheon, now it's we're hanging out. Yeah. We're peeling the layers. And 2020 is the decade of the divine feminine. Yeah. It's time for women to rise. And I have goosebumps all over my body as I say those words. I have not, in my miraculous journey and my story, we've shared it a million times, is nothing short of a miracle. And I have to tell you, I've been helped all along the way. But the group that I'm most excited about for my future growth and for me to really own my power, and I wrote it on my wall, I will own my power. It says right there, I will not forget who I am, is my relationship with Lead Up.
Aww.
I really feel that way.
Thank you.
I really do.
Gosh, I feel like we scratched the surface in 2019. It was really the year of awareness. Like, hey, we've created this group.
It's an amazing group.
And what I started out creating this group is not really what it ended up being. I mean, it was about helping women feel confident in changing their lives. And then it really morphed into creating more platforms, right? So not just the luncheons, but then we launched the magazine, but then I wasn't going to launch the webinars. And then I wound up launching the webinars in June, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm getting calls from members saying, I love what you're doing. How can I bring that to all of the states? Like, how can I bring that locally? And I would have to duplicate myself 100 times or 50 times, right, to get to 50 states to be able to meet every month. So I had this idea, and I'm just throwing it out there right now, and I would love comments. And just so everyone is aware right now, if you can see Facebook on your phone and you can see if someone puts a comment or asks a question.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Answer it. I can see one thing right now, and it's Zoom. And so if I move over, I won't be able to see it. So hopefully, and I just went live on the Lead Up for Women page. Then I'll share it on my page, my personal page. You can share it on your page. But if anyone does ask a question, we'll answer that for them.
I'm looking.
Somebody asked me, how can I bring Lead Up for Women to my area? And I thought, if we could just do once a month gatherings where that ambassador just throws it out there on social media and says, hey, we're going to meet at a library, or we're going to meet at this coffee shop, or we're going to meet somewhere on this date. Everybody come as you are. Just this is a community of support. And then if there's 10 women there, we just share our stories and offer support to each other, and just offer a community of support. They don't have to pay. It's just to lift each other and connect with each other so they can feel that community. And that's just selfless acts that we could do, is just being ambassadors of a community of women that truly lift each other and care about each other.
I think it's needed. I mean, you said you just scratched the surface in 2019, but we all had a big itch because, it's become a very powerful tool. And when I tell people, I was talking to a friend recently on the phone, and she's like, I really need that information. I know you told me about it. And she's like, go over it again. And I'm like, oh, they have a website and you can create your own page. I'm like, they do a radio show, they have webinars, they have magazines, they have, social media. And, I recommend going to a face-to-face event, because then you're going to walk away with, there's 30 people there. You're going to have 30 people in your back pocket. Helping you.
And now with the new website, you can go on and download the 10 tips that come from the magazine. We're trying to get everyone's addresses so that we can send all that. You get the magazine, to you.
Yeah, I get the magazine.
You have the opportunity to do an article in the magazine. As a member, you have the opportunity to co-host on the radio whenever you want to. And you can teach a webinar like you did. Like, these are all tools and resources. If you are promoting an event like you are, you have the opportunity to send me the information so I can get it in one of our newsletters, so that all of our partners and people that we work with, all the information's there. And we're doing even more in 2020. So not even talking about sanctuaries yet. We're adding a Lead Up for Women app.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
The app gives you the ability, to have your information in the app. So if you're going to be in an event, you just load it in, and then someone can click on it and go straight to whatever event you're going to be at. Like, they will have all your information right there, which is awesome, because say you're looking for someone to help you get a resume together or help you put an event together, and you go, I got a community. You go in there, you're like, who can help me with events? And you click on the person, you call them, hey, I need help with an event.
Beautiful.
That's the reason why we're doing this, to have every resource that you need all in one place. And what better way to have it than right there on your phone, right? Just really quick and easy. And we're adding Lead Up lightning rounds. It's free for all of our VIP members. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned.
Well, there's a sale. You got to talk about the sale.
So our membership started out this year at $195 for an entire year. So it's annual, it's all year long. And I decided, and my partner David, we decided that anybody who joined us in 2019, because it was our first year, would be grandfathered in at the 195 forever, meaning you're never going to get an increase in price. So every year at your anniversary date, it's 195. Now we have so much to offer. Now this will increase to 440, and I'll tell you why it's increasing, because we're adding not only the app, not only the support that comes with that app and everything that we do to give you a landing page for your business, but in addition to that, we're adding 2 bi-monthly or 2 monthly coaching calls that are called Lead Up Lightning Round, and it's free. So you log on the first Monday and the third Friday of every month, and you bring a challenge. And so if you log on, and you don't have a challenge that time, and someone does, you get to participate when you hear their challenge, and each one of us has 60 seconds to give them a solution.
Love that.
It's a community of support.
Beautiful.
It's a community, and it doesn't have to be a business challenge. It could be a cooking challenge. It could be I'm struggling to keep my cool as a mom challenge. It can be, how do I get my husband to go on date nights with me challenge. It can be, I have a big presentation coming up and I'm stuck on how to create this PowerPoint challenge. It can be any subject. And what I love about that is it just gives us the opportunity. It worked in corporate America. It helped us cross departments and solve problems for each other when normally silos are up, right?
Right.
So we've all been through a lot. We have a lot of collective wisdom between all of us. We're brilliant geniuses when you bring all the collective wisdom together. So why not tap into that? You know?
I'm really excited.
Yeah. And then again, I just hold the space. So it's just there. We have the time on the calendar. We hold the space. Who shows up, shows up. And it's an opportunity for us to help people solve their problems. So as a VIP member, you get that free. If you're not a VIP member and you're an outside member, you can sign up for that every single month for $97 a month for 2 coaching calls. Like,
wow,
that's
a huge bargain.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the best deal, is the VIP for sure. And it ends. Yeah, it ends the end of this month. So that just gives you access to so much to not only promote you and promote your business, but for you to be a student and learn.
Sorry, I just turned you on.
So for anyone who wants to do that, we'll put the link in the comment section, and you just go over to leadupforwomen.com and click on memberships and just enroll. And it's an annual subscription. So you pay on December 19th. You don't know again until next December 19th. And at any point through that, you decide you don't want to be a member and you decide you just don't want to be part of us again, there's no reason why you can't cancel. I don't know. I don't think anyone ever has.
I was just going to say, I mean, do people cancel?
Yeah, no, but I think that we have seasons in our lives where we value the energy exchange of our money and what value we're getting from it. And I can only say this: the tools and the value is there for you. How you tap into that and how you use that's up to you, right?
And I think that's true. There's so much there that I think, not to tap into. I mean, maybe not all resources, but there's definitely something for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And, all the webinars that we've done are recorded, all available up there. I've done presentations that I decided to load on there. We have all the luncheons loaded. So we have every event that we've done is recorded and up there. So you're going to learn something from whatever video we have available. That's why I drug my husband around to 10 cities this year to video everything for us so that we could capture all of the learning moments for everyone to utilize, when you're feeling like you need a little extra in your life of support. And then you can reach out to anybody that you want to reach out to. So let's talk about our sanctuaries, because in addition to doing all of the monthly events. So now we're going to have 3 online monthly events, Teaching Tuesday, which is the second Tuesday, the 2 coaching calls, and then the sanctuaries are 5 of them. So we're doing them February 6th through the 9th in Scottsdale. We're doing March 26th through the 29th in Atlanta. We're doing June 4th through the 7th in upstate New York. We're doing July 16th through the 19th in Columbus, Ohio. And then we're doing Dallas, Texas, September, I think it's like 18th, or it's a Thursday through a Sunday, whatever that is right there. I think it's 16th or 18th. So I look at that.
Cities.
Yeah, 5 cities, right? So regionally, if you can't make it to one, you have the opportunity of the other 4 if you wanted to fly to it. Or maybe you're just going to be in another state during a business trip or something that works out better for you to be there. Or you have family there and you want to tack on a trip to go see friends or family. Some people I've said, hey, I'm going to be in your area in a certain time of year. And they're like, I just want to get out of this cold. So I want to come to Arizona because I'm tired of being in the snow.
Yeah, February is a good time.
Yeah, to be in Arizona. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So V is going to be our chef at every single event. She's traveling around the United States with us to give us a healthy, proper diet while we're there. I have been able to lock in yoga and meditation masters in these cities to come and do morning meditations and yoga with practice with us. We're locking in spa features. I say that because in Scottsdale, we're locked in already for mini facials and massages for everybody. In every city, we're taking a half day on the second day to all load up in a bus together and go give back to a local community charity. So it will be focused on girls or women. And we already locked in Atlanta, and we're locking in here in Scottsdale to go help women that need our strength, that need us to be there to support them, to talk to them, to show them that we've been through some hurdles as women, and there is another side. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and some of them just can't see it right now.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a great opportunity for us to serve other women in the community while we're pampering ourselves. Each sanctuary includes 2 to 4 facilitations of workshops. So really depending upon who our local facilitators are, but they will be pretty similar in subjects. So the subjects will be moving from a victim mindset to owning your reality. It'll be about burning your fears, like literally, like fire side, burning your fears. We're going to learn about the power of gratitude. We're going to learn about leveling yourself up, you and your business in 2020, how you do that to gain the clarity, and personal branding. These are all things that you can take into your personal life. And no matter what anybody says, if your business is struggling, look in the mirror. If your marriage is struggling, look in the mirror. If your relationships with your children are struggling, look in the mirror. And I mean, Michael Jackson said it perfectly. You want to make change?
The man in the mirror.
Man in the mirror. Who's looking at you? So I say we have to look in the mirror and say, am I too over? Am I not? Am I too scattered? Am I not focused enough? Am I pushing or pulling too much and not allowing? Am I not present?
Right.
You know, with people around me? What is it that I can do to change me in 2020? And, you know, one of my daughters is coming to the sanctuary.
Oh, beautiful.
And my husband even asked her, you know, what prompted you? And she said, I need a break. She's a mom of a tiny little, you know, one of my granddaughters. She's like, I need a break. So one, she's like, I just need a weekend away. And it just sounds amazing for the weekend away. And She said, I need to get out and meet other like-minded women like me and be in the presence of powerful women because I need that in my life.
Right.
I need that community. And she knows the benefits of that. She knows the benefit of being in 4 days under the same roof with 20 women. You're going to walk away. We were best friends with 30 of us.
Right. Right.
And I was that way at every single one that I did.
3 hours, not even a day.
3 hours. We're talking 3.5 days now, 4 days.
We're going to be emotional wrecks when it's time to leave. We're
going to be crying as we're all leaving.
It's like the end of summer camp when you're a kid,
That's why I'm doing the 4 weeks coaching afterwards, so we can all just jump on a call and see each other and say, hey, I miss you guys. How are you doing? But then also say, hey, you guys, I promised myself that I was going to do X, Y, and Z, and I need help. Right. I need you guys to support me. And then before you know it, V's going, hey, girl, I'll text you every morning and remind you to do you to take care of yourself. That's what we do as sisters. We support each other. So, I feel like we scratched the surface. Now we want to continue diving deep while we're still spreading the message.
Yeah.
You got to transform, and it's going to be uncomfortable.
Which is another thing on the interview I had today. That's what we talked about, is that, being uncomfortable is really sort of the magic space, the magic zone. And, I think most often, we lean towards comfort, and, this is just the perfect time of year to sort of, and it's the end of a decade. So it's like, it's a perfect time to sort of reflect and like, was I too comfortable? Did I take the safe route? Yeah. How has that served me? And really have that honest conversation. And if I were to get uncomfortable, like, what would that look like? Because I think that's the other thing. I think sometimes when people hear the word uncomfortable, they're like, well, what does he mean uncomfortable? And maybe it is going to the movies by yourself.
Do you know what uncomfortable is for me? Uncomfortable for me is diving off like the highest ledge you can possibly dive off. And I always picture like a waterfall, but I just said hasta to corporate.
Yeah, you did.
And said, so I've always had a job since I can remember. I started doing the paper at 8 years old. I've always had a job where I made money, a job. And I worked for someone and got a paycheck. My entire life, existence of anything I've ever remembered.
And I'm the opposite.
Right. And then I just said, oh, I'm just going to throw all that away because I know this is what I need to do. With zero assurance, Zippo, and I can pay one bill next month. Zero assurance. Done. Literally.
I get it.
Now, for me, certainty is like way up on there of a human need of mine. Certainty to know that I can pay my bills. And people that know me really, really well are like, who is this woman standing in front of me that is leaning into her heart and her purpose and is listening to guidance and is taking the spiritual guidance and is following her heart?
Right.
Who is that person that is the one that, is a planner and a filler of her schedule and has everything planned out for her whole life and isn't spontaneous? And I shift and course correct and do all these things that I need to do now because, and doors just continue to open. You have to trust and have faith that you will be in the right place at the right time. Just like when you were on that stage in Buffalo.
Yep.
You were in the right place at the right time because you needed to cross my path and I needed to cross yours. And that was when it happened.
It's true. And I mean, you definitely jumped off, the waterfall ledge when you left the corporate world.
I did.
I mean, I can't imagine how scary that must have been for you to do it.
It's still scary. And I think my husband joked around last night when we were making dinner and he's like, well, enjoy it until you go back and get a job. And I was like, because I was talking about how how it can't be real.
Right.
That I get to spend my days speaking to women and learning about them and their stories, and get to I get to spread a global message. I am in conversations, which I didn't even bring up right now, with 2 women in Africa.
Wow.
Because they want us to start a new leg of Lead Up for Women Africa.
Wow.
The women in Africa need our guidance. They need our training. They need our help. They are struggling. And it has brought us winding paths. We happen to have an attorney on our team, right, with Lead Up for Women, that can file nonprofits for us. So Becky's working on that now. I also have a lady in a PR team that's been giving us articles every month for a long, long time now for a magazine. And she reached out to me and said, hey, I was going to do another article and I've been kind of moving in a different direction. I said, I would love to do more with you. I'm not sure how we do that though. You know, how could I work with you more? I've loved the articles you've given us. How can I promote you more? And she said, well, I'm only really working with businesses that have a nonprofit leg now. That's really where I've started to drive all my energy. And I was like, what did you just say?
Right.
Because that's where we can do business together, because I have this opportunity now. And she's like, I'm on it. And these are things that happen because it's the right timing. It's the right season. It wouldn't have worked in January or February of this. It had to work now. And so now going into 2020, we're going to open up a whole nonprofit side of Lead Up for Women, so that as women who have all these luxuries of homes and food that we can go buy at the grocery store, and running hot water,
right,
and electricity that doesn't burn our homes down, that we can take care of our children and not go days without feeding them.
Right.
This is our opportunity now to help them by donating sewing machines so that they can make a living from buying their goods, from building a training center and going over there and training women and volunteering. And this is our opportunity to change generations of lives for women that have never had the opportunity before. And
that's amazing.
It's great. It's just, it not only are we pouring into ourselves for the things that we need, but now we have the opportunity, because our cups are full, to give to others the way we've always wanted to and have never had the opportunity to. So I mean, that's why I was pinching myself, and my husband was joking around saying, well, yeah, then you're going to have to go get a job. He was kidding, of course.
Right. I get
I work now more than I did before.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing that people don't understand. I literally work every day. Every day, 18 hours a day. It starts first thing in the morning after I have private me time in the morning for 1 hour every day from 6:30 to 7:30. And that's my time. And that's where I reflect. I write my gratitudes. We're producing a gratitude journal. I'm writing that now. Oh, nice.
Because isn't that a huge part of who we are, is expressing gratitude and really reflecting on yourself that day to say, this is how I feel today, and this is why.
Yep.
What am I going to do to change that? How can I change my mindset today, right now? But you know what? After you write 10 gratitudes, your mindset kind of automatically shifts. Because you're thinking about everything in your life that's freaking awesome, that rocks. Then you automatically think, I feel great. And if you don't feel great, why? And what do you have to do to fix it? And then what are you going to do for yourself that day?
Beautiful.
And even if you just say, today, I'm going to tell myself I'm enough. That's it. Today, I'm just going to tell myself I'm enough.
And that's not just, that's a big thing.
I'm going to stop and get my favorite smoothie on the way to work. Because you know why? Because I'm worth it. And I deserve it. Right?
That's what I did. I was driving to the grocery store this morning and I was like, I'm going to take myself out to breakfast because it's the holidays. And I bet you it's going to be filled with like that feeling of the holidays. 7 o'clock this morning, place was jammed. Some women came in their PJs. And then they look like holiday PJs, you know what I mean? Sit right across from me. One table of 14, it was like all men and one woman, you know, but it was like a whole table. And it was just, you know, I just
like a holiday breakfast or something.
Yeah, I just wanted to be around energy, you know, and I was like, I'm going to take myself out to breakfast. And I actually checked in, and one of my lead up friends, Meredith, was like, oh, I wish I was there. I would pop in and have breakfast with you. There you go. You know,
Meredith was on a live this morning. She's doing like this 20 or 25 days of leveling up. And she's on Facebook Live every morning talking about what can you do for yourself today?
To level up.
As soon as I popped on, she was like, talk about leveling up. Let's talk about my friend Colleen, who just popped on here, who owns the company Lead Up for Women. Talk about taking a leap. She left corporate to go out and create a better life for all of us.
And even she did the same thing. She packed up like I did.
Did.
We're both Philly girls. We both packed up, moved to California, not knowing a soul and not knowing how we were going to make it work. But
so, you know, it just works out. And so the word is just faith. And it's the same thing with the sanctuaries, you know, investing in yourself, it's not cheap. And so when you're going to show up at something where you're all inclusive and you have the whole weekend, like a spa getaway, and on top of that, a seminar, and on top of that, like a networking event, because you're connected now with everybody there. So you're most likely going to walk away with somebody who wants to work with you, or someone who wants to give you an opportunity like, hey, I've got an event and I need a speaker. Are you available? Right. We just never know what comes out of those events. And the way I look at it and I sent some videos to people, and the way I look at it as, if you're meant to be there, it will happen. If you need to be there, if you're meant to be there, you will find the money because it will be there. And the time will open on your calendar and you'll need to be there. And that's just the way it works. You just have to have faith.
You do.
You have to trust. And there's so much coming. It's a laundry list of things that are coming. And, you know, it's really about all of us as ambassadors. You're an ambassador, I'm an ambassador. And it's just about us spreading the word and helping everyone understand that you're not alone. And we were built, bred, meant to be in community.
Yes.
Not to be alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about all you shared. And, you know, I really hope that, you know, yes, there's spa and yes, there's learning, but this is a growth experience. This isn't, you know, it's not a vacation in the sense where you're just going to kick back and do absolutely nothing. This is an opportunity for you to grow in an intensive way, you know, because in the community of others and with the learnings, and then, you know, don't discount what's going to happen just in the give back, serving other women, you know, where you're not being spoken, you know, taught or fed a meal. You're actually helping someone. I think that to have all that happen in that short amount of time is going to be an energy that can be carried through the whole year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, don't discount how that can elevate you the entire year. I can tell you that the first time I have multiple sclerosis, and the first time I was in a room with 60 people that had MS was a very powerful thing for me. And it helped me to overcome my fear, and it would carry me for like 6 months at a time. I think a lot of times we don't recognize how important and how much energy can be carried long after you leave a 3-day intensive, you know, and I got to tell you, I play a big part for that. When I go to these intensives, I don't see it as, I see it as that is like triage. I'm going in right now, getting the tools. They're going to download me. We're going to make the connections. And when I leave, it comes with me.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing is you recognize the difference in the vibration. So when you're in that type of event, like we were in LA, for example, you recognize the level of vibration in that room. And it's almost like a drug, right?
It is a drug.
It becomes addicting, right? Because dopamine, like you're producing all of these emotions. All of these emotions are happening. You have joy, you have happiness, you have sadness. Like we're feeling all the feels. And when you're not around that, that's why people go to seminar after seminar after seminar, right? Because they get there and they get the high and then they go away and then they do nothing with it. Then they start going back down again. And then they get there and they get the highs. And then, so when you're in that vibration and you feel what it feels like to be part of a community like that and to be in the presence of other powerful women that too are on that high vibration. Mm-hmm. You want to be around people that are in that high vibration. So it's a great opportunity for you to then seek out those women and decide to only bring those people and attract that to your life. It changes your life forever. You just always look through a different perspective and a different lens.
You know, you can't discount the power of women supporting women. For me, there's no greater support system, and I'm not anti-male, whatever, however you identify. I'm a very welcoming, community-driven person, but there's a magic that happens, you know, in the community of women. And I think it really allows us to be comfortable to, you know, tap our feminine and masculine parts, because we all have those in us. And I felt very comfortable being a strong woman, which a lot of times in communities, you know, being a strong woman is not welcome, is not, you know, and you sometimes dumb down. And, you know, I also felt very comfortable and feel very comfortable in my lead up group saying, like, this is an area I don't really know much about. Like, I also am comfortable being vulnerable, so I can be strong and show weakness and feel safe. You know, you create a safe space, Colleen, and that's a really important thing, because it's one thing to come together as a collective, but, you know, you have to feel safe. And the luncheon, I think every one of us shed a tear at one point. Every one of us felt comfortable sharing our story. And a lot of our stories didn't have good endings. Marriages ended. We gave up careers. We lost our health. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of hardship, but at the end of the day, we were all still fighting. Mm-hmm. We were all still, and it wasn't necessarily a fight as much in the term of like a battle. We were all still holding our own, making lemonade. You know what I mean? We were making lemonade and just course correcting where we needed. And really, course correcting for me happens with community. I need people to call me out, you know, tap me on the shoulder and be like, this may be a better way.
Yeah. And when you need the advice and you're looking for someone to hold you accountable, or looking for someone to be there to tell you the way it is, that's why you want a truthful, no judgment here, show up as you, because everyone's accepted community. And that's what it's about. I don't allow anyone in, you know, that's why we have like a little code of ethics, and it talks about celebrating each other for exactly who we are. Yeah. And not judging each other, but really showing up and feeling comfortable with everything that you are, and knowing that everybody else there sees you for everything that you are and loves you exactly that way. That there's, you know, and that's why it's an application process. And I'll put the link out there today when we're done here, but I wanted to ensure that the proper people were showing up for the proper reasons, and that they really understood and could hold that safe space for everybody there. It's important.
I think the application is important because it, you know, that safe space is critical. Yeah. And I applaud you for, you know, like I said before, the fact that, you know, that comes from the top. You know, that safe space is, you know, again, where we get to show our divine feminine, our masculine side, feel vulnerable and be protected and carried. So that's, you know, even though I'll be in the kitchen chefing away, I will tell you that's what I'm most excited for. And that is my love language. So, you know, I will be, you know, sharing my true love language with everyone that comes, because that is how I love, through food. So, and I just can't, can't wait for that.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. I'm very excited.
So do you have any last words for our friends before we sign off?
Just, I really hope Sanctuary, like you said, if you want it, make it happen. You can make it happen. VIP membership makes the most sense for anyone looking to just elevate. And I really just want to encourage everyone to, all of you women out there, to really consider becoming a part of this tribe. And I'm involved in a lot of communities. I have a lot of stuff on my resume, and, like I said in the beginning, the energy and the community of women in this organization is really probably the greatest thing that happened to me in 2019. And the thing I'm most excited about in 2020 is taking it, because like you said, it depends on what you give. Now that I know what it all is, now that I've seen every bit of it, I want more, so I'm elevating my role and my place. And I just want you guys to join us, because, power to the people. Like, the more of us, the more, more is better.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is, which gives us the ability to do more, because we have more ambassadors, so we can spread the word more, and we can be surrounded by more and more women, and learn about more and more women, and hear more stories, and read more stories. And there's power.
Yep.
Power in stories. And we all need that. Every single one of us, be selfish about it. We all need that for ourselves. So I'm super excited, and we have a lot of work to do in 2020, starting with the sanctuaries. And we have our Teaching Tuesday webinar coming up in January. And we launch right away out of the new year. That very first Monday, I think it's the 7th of January,
right.
We start our lead up lightning rounds. So
can't wait. Well, that's strong, really exciting.
We're coming in strong. So V, thank you so much for the suggestion. Thank you for being here with me today. This is like, I just wish we should do this every day. This is super fun. So maybe we'll jump on and do another one in January.
Whatever you want.
And talk more about how things are going, and talk a little bit more about what we have to offer everybody.
I can't wait. Well, great. I really hope that Santa puts this in your stocking, under your tree, whatever you celebrate. If it's not Santa, something lead up for women. I really look forward to seeing you all. I'm in the San Diego area, so if anyone is in that area, be pretty awesome. I'll be driving to Sanctuary in Scottsdale, so I'm most excited about my road trip.
Yes, and I'm excited that you're coming to Arizona, which is where I live, and it's beautiful here. So you and I live in some beautiful states right now for weather.
Yeah.
And I know the rest of the United States is suffering a little bit. So our hearts go out to you. Please be safe this holiday. We hope all of you have an extremely happy holiday with your friends and loved ones and family, and a safe and warm New Year's.
Yes.
Everybody.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I will see you. Thank you for joining me.
Take care.
All right. Bye.